Good afternoon. This is Sewing Machine Master Grigorij together with UAB Suvimo Stilius. Today we will talk about the computerized machine Rubina H10A SIRE, which are quite similar models. They simply perform fewer functions, more related to memory. But the idea here is that it's a simple computerized sewing machine. It's inexpensive, and now we'll talk about that. Why is it worth it or not worth it to buy? Because people often ask, what does it mean? Computerized, what does it do? What makes it special? So, first of all, this machine is special because it has an additional table, that table. We used to order it separately before. Then we decided that after all, it should come with the tables, because the table is actually very good, high quality, and that table is included as an additional accessory. Now, with every machine, it doesn't matter. So it comes with this kind of small table. As of today, this is how we started ordering. Here's how the machine looks normally. And with the table, it will look like this. This kind of table is sturdy and good. Nothing is lacking, as they say. Well, yes. Next, for example, after you have bought or taken a sewing machine to be sewn, what you need to do is connect two cables, one to the power supply, the other to the speed regulator. One connects here, the other connects here, and then the machine would be fully ready for work. But still, you need thread. Otherwise, it won't sew. It won't connect anything. For example, we don't have any thread right now. We don't have any threads at all. So we need to wind some. In the morning, we put it here. When turning on the machine in the morning, if you turn this dial to the right, pressing it to the right, the machine automatically disengages and winds the thread for us. This is helpful because soon we will need these gray threads. Today this will be a short overview of the process. This one will be short, but I'll try to keep it around 15 minutes because afterwards I'll have to go. So yeah, when winding the thread, actually that's not really how it's done. You could end up in trouble for that, or you can just lay the thread like this, or here, this is stretching the thread, you can do it like this. I'm just used to bending my hands, then everything goes more smoothly for me. I go, okay, now let's put it in the morning. In the morning it spins counterclockwise, like how is it at noon it should spin counterclockwise? I want to get rid of those white ones because the white one, the thread should go like this, not spinning counterclockwise, and then we put it into the shuttle. The bobbin is placed like this. Yes, yes, yes. There, now it started spinning, yes. So after yours, and this hook is hooked, yes, now you would find it here following the arrows, it returns. So maybe here's where the thread is cut. Here the thread is cut, now we take the upper thread. You know? 90% of the time people come in with a machine that's under warranty, and honestly it's not worth it because of this hook, since we sell a lot of these machines. They're very good, very high quality, and sometimes a person doesn't notice that something is out of place. Even though this hook is sticking out, you see it's clearly visible. There are some machines where you can't see it, it's hidden somewhere deep inside. But here it's not that common because now you can see it. Threading the machine means going down and up. Here, the indicators are for that hook, definitely for this hook. You can hear if the machine is rattling or making strange noises, and there's a buzzing sound as well. First of all, don't look at the needle, but check this hook and see if it's catching the thread. I recommend, when pulling the thread out, to wrap it around the back. Take it from your left hand to your right around the back, and then put it back. Is this some kind of magic trick for us? It's a miracle. Sometimes it catches again, and the machine starts working. We have an automatic threader. You can use it or not use it. One client of mine said, oh no, I don't want to use the automatic threader. I'll do it by hand. Well, then thread it by hand as you wish. It's just that if you want to use it, you can. So now let's thread the needle. There's no need to pull the upper thread out further because down here it has already been cut. So you can just pass one thread through the presser foot, the upper one now, and that's it. So like this, you pass it through the presser foot. You can insert the needle into the fabric, the presser foot is lowered, and that's essential. Maybe you should hold that thread. Still, it's better to insert the needle. Lower the presser foot, and I would suggest holding it, at least one of them. 1, 2, that's it, now you can proceed. A computerized machine, first of all, those operations will look nicer, because with mechanical machines, there are sometimes about 30 or 32 operations, but they're not as attractive. They basically repeat one another, and there's not much difference between them. Whereas here, we can see there are some complex ones. There are all sorts of little stars, flowers, leaves, hearts, and so on. And that's exactly what a computerized machine can do, these kinds of complex operations. There are not a single electromechanical or modern mechanical machine can handle heavy fabrics with rounded edges. You see, like how a coat is rounded like this, only a computerized machine can do that. This function here is darning. It moves back and forth, starts darning on its own, and does it well. Now let's move on to the main functions. About these buttons, what do they do? First of all, there's the speed regulator here. When you press it, it's like the foot pedal you would buy with the machine, and you control the speed with your foot. Now, by pressing it, you can adjust the speed slowly as you wish, and you can so slowly or faster just as you like. You can even use the start-stop button without removing the pedal from the machine, because usually to use this start-stop button, you need the pedal. Now, at this moment, you don't need to remove it, and this machine doesn't require you to take out the pedal. If you want to use the start-stop button, you can simply press this button and it will move back. Or if you press the pedal, it will go forward. When you release it, it moves forward. This is also a locking function, just like here, only it's a spot lock. For example, when sewing, if you press this spot button, it will stop and make 2 or 3 stitches there. In this case, it will pierce the needle in the same spot and secure it, not by moving forward and backward, but with a spot lock. And here we have the needle positioning function. If you noticed, when I stop, the needle always stays at the top. It stops at the top. But if you press this button, it will return to the bottom. And now it will always stay at the bottom. You see the feed dogs at that moment. As you press there, you can play with half steps. Half. You'll be at half. Here is the speed regulator. No matter how hard you press, it won't sew faster. You can press with all your strength and the machine still won't sew faster. And here we have the full range from slow stitches to fast. This is exactly where the first regulator is for adjusting the speed. If you see knots or loops underneath, you can increase the thread tension. This depends on the quality of the thread, the fabric, the needle, and even on the phase of the moon. So what's next? Let's continue. To select a certain operation, you see there are 5 rows of operations, and each row has its own button. According to that, the indicator lights up here, and this one lights up here as well. Based on those coordinates, if I move now, you can see the green dot moving to the right according to those cardinal points. For example, if I press the last one, it will be like this. Yesterday, the value was 33, and now it's 36. And up to 40 as well, because here and here, according to those cardinal points, we have the heart. I was running around and arranging it, and we will send it. Because yesterday was Valentine's Day, today we'll send the heart. I should have done it yesterday, but there was so much work that I didn't manage to do anything. They keep bringing me work for the heart in the envelope. You see, you don't see my heart. So then it's good that the operation is all clear. Now by default, if you select a certain operation, it will automatically choose the optimal stitch density and stitch width in the zigzag area. If you selected an operation meant for zigzag stitching, and now I pressed straight, it adjusted so that we have a medium density. If you want to increase or decrease it, it's very simple. Just turn the knob and you can make it very dense. And sparse as well, according to your preference. The same applies to the zigzag. If you selected a certain operation, for example, today we want leaf pattern 36. Now here is leaf number 36, yes. And we are carefully sewing it into place right now. That's interesting. I can reduce the size of that leaf, but I can't just shrink it however I want. It's not interesting because it would end up affecting the width, so to speak. But what if I adjust the density? I'd like to revert it back. All right, okay, let's take a look at what we have there. Oh, press the wrong button. You see, nothing changes here. It's just as nice as it was before. This is more relevant for these zigzag stitches. You'll select zigzag, but for example, zigzag 0.6, as it's sewing now, you can reduce it and it will become denser. Very dense, faster and faster up to the maximum. You can also adjust the stitch width. For motorcycles, it was like this, now it's like that, and now you can also decrease or increase the width, decrease, and so on. So what's next? Here, everything is simple, the machine is uncomplicated, it's very rarely brought in for service, very rarely, usually only because of some mistakes, like poor quality threads, the thread not being threaded, or the needle not being inserted properly, something like that. Now, moving on, what about the computerized machine? The computerized machine is good because it controls the motors. After all, it has that kind of mini computer in it. It will never send faster or slower there, you know. Even a single short press will be one action, one stitch. What else about the buttonhole? Look, I'll show you, you know what, how to make buttonholes for buttons with this machine. For example, we have a button. Today I have a button. We're lucky. So look here, you can insert it right here. You see the button? It unfolds like this. So this one here, you insert the button, and according to the size of that button, the sewing machine will automatically sew a buttonhole for you. Or you can use this. Oh, I just remembered the word patching. It's called a patch. You can put on a patch. Probably, yes, the presser foot changes here. You press with your finger, pull it towards yourself, and the presser foot changes. In its place, you install this device with your button inserted. Yes. For them, well, everything is fine. Now, moving on. Moving on. So what's next? The loop. So the loop with this kind of rounding. Yes, for the coat number 19, this button here. And we press it how many times? 1, 2, 3. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. It will select by itself. It will choose the stitch density and width. Oh, stop, I forgot. Look, you need to lower it down. It says trip. Sorry, not this one. Wait, you need to lower it down. So right here between these two parts, yes, just like that. Now that's really all. We press the speed regulator, or you can just press the start button. Whatever you press, the machine will finish that buttonhole and will even stop by itself exactly where it needs to. I press it and do nothing else. There, it did one side, now it's moving on. It goes back again doing half of that buttonhole. It takes some time to go, so I'll finish it. And it finished this buttonhole. It will stop right away. You see, I'm not doing anything. It stopped by itself, and the buttonhole is done. And according to how you set it in this presser foot, all that's left is to trim. For trimming, there's this seam ripper. In case anyone doesn't know, this little tool is for cleaning up. And here is the seam ripper. You can use it to cut open the buttonhole. Just be careful not to overdo it. You need to pierce it here, pierce it. Gently pierce it just enough, exactly like this, that's it. Now, regarding the patches, yes, so even without a button, you can simply open up as much of this so-called trap as you might actually need and just carefully, again, lower this type, do not forget to mark it, and connect operation 20. Once more, a single press, operation 20 will now do the cleaning. The most interesting part is that when it does this, just watch how it works. It sews the thread and gradually positions the needle from left to right. In this way, it turns out that, well, it really comes out perfectly, in short. I'll tidy up those threads and set up the table for myself. Someone brought over some junk. They're asking for something. I need to look for it, all right? We lower it and press. You can start the button. It moves forward, backward, forward, backward, and little by little the needles bend from the left side to the right. And in the end, when it ends up completely on the right side, then it will automatically stop by itself. Well, considering just how much I originally wanted to say, it seems like that's it. Isn't it absolutely stunning and beautiful? You see, everything turned out so well. Now we change the presser foot. When installing the standard presser foot, there are many options. There's one for zippers, for buttonholes, and for blind stitch hemming. It's truly a charming machine, very good, very high quality. The only thing, my request is to use a bobbin that is specified for the threads so that it is written. Do you see what it says on the bobbin? 100% bobbin, 100%. If it's not released, any machine, no matter if it's cheap, expensive, modern, or old-fashioned, it will always sew a bit worse. And how much can it sew with this kind of linen? It definitely has 20 layers. I fold 4. I turn on a simple operation. I can't add a factor for the law, although maybe it wasn't necessary. And now we have 4, then 12, and finally 8. That's a total of 20 thick layers of heavy fabric being sewn at full speed. Whether you specifically want a straight stitch, a wide zigzag, or even decorative heels and more zigzag, here is our machine performing a perfect zigzag through all 20 layers of this tough fabric. Don't worry about skipped stitches. These are computerized machines since we manufacture cities. So, even though I'm not an expert, the quality is still very good, especially when it comes to the processors, electronics, and even the mechanics. You can confidently use this machine. Don't be afraid of computerized machines. Your possibilities will be much, much broader. Share the video, give it a like, write good reviews, because the more you work, the more negative reviews you get. I imagine that's because if everything is fine, people just think, well, it's good, and that's it. Everything's fine, but if something goes wrong, then people get upset. But how could it go wrong? It can only be good. Still, sometimes issues do come up. Maybe you forget something. For example, just recently, a client came in and I forgot to check Lithuania, which I shouldn't have. You have to apologize and fix it quickly. Well then, good luck to you and goodbye.